Just a quick question that was put to me. I'm just finishing off your web stack course, Stef. What should I do next? Should I jump right away into freelancing? Should I do your freelance course? Or should I build a couple of projects for myself? This is what I would do. You finish my full stack course, you do all the foundations training, you do the first few projects that I suggest on the project section. And then the thing which you should do at this point is, if you got my freelance course, you should do the first few chapters of the freelance course, which gives you the framework to set up your freelance business. And then you have to complete your web design training as a Padawan web designer or web developer junior. What you do is you go out there and you do one or two small projects as a freelancer for some independent company, some third party. Why do you want to do this? This is going to be your final training, if you will, where you learn to communicate with clients. Now, if you have my freelance course, you're going to get all the templates, the contract template, initial proposal template, etc. Use them. Use the time tracker. Use them, but just don't charge them anything. And you let them know. You tell them this, I'm just starting out. You're going to get free work done for this mini project. Don't let them string you on for months, that's for sure. Just so you learn to use the material I provide in a freelance course, and also so that you learn to use your coding courses and have confidence to do what you're going to have to do as a freelancer, as a coder, is that you're going to have to fill in the gaps of your knowledge that you may have here and there. You may not have, depending on the type of project that you have. And this is part of the game. So you do one or two small ones like that. So you develop some skills and confidence there. You're also going to develop some reputation there. And then you'll be ready to actually start taking on small paid jobs as a freelance developer, web designer, what have you. So let me tell you a story about my very first gig as a full stack web developer. When I was brought in to see the potential client for this job, I had never worked with databases before. I knew the basics of programming in JavaScript, a little bit of Perl. Of course, I knew my HTML, and I knew how to build a website, but I had never created a basic CRUD-based application. CRUD is short for create, read, update, delete. These are basic database operations, which is the foundation of just about every single web app in the world, maybe 99%. So I went in to bid on this contract, having never done it before, And I was able to accurately bid because of I had done enough web work and enough coding to be able to judge even stuff that I had never done before. And so I got the contract. It was a pretty good contract for me at the time. And I went right from the business where I got my check with my advance, and I went right to the bookstore. At that time, there was no online video training. I went right to the bookstore. I picked up books on SQL, on database design, and it was Classic ASP at the time, Classic ASP. And I just learned as I built this thing out. Now, fortunately, because of my background in the business world and building centralized filtration systems, and martial arts, I applied those principles to my coding. So I was able to write clean, easy to modular, easy to update code. I knew that at that time that I had to write my code that way. And fortunately, I was able to build the project on time and well within the budget, and it was very profitable for me. So in that situation, I had done paid jobs before, of course, but more or less front end with some basic programming in there. But this first gig, doing a true full stack app from scratch, I had to learn database design for this project. Fortunately, it was a simple system. I think maybe there's 20 tables or something. It wasn't super complex. And so I was able to pull it off. Again, leveraging good foundational principles, good design principles. I'm talking about software design principles. And I was able to put together something that worked. This was my first paid freelance gig. So given my own experience, not so much as a hardcore programmer nerd. My thing was more front end, but nonetheless, I was able to pull it off. So I figure if I was able to pull it off, I'm sure just about anybody else could pull it off. But anyway, that's the story of my very first paid gig doing crud work. I had done paid gigs before, but it was more front end stuff. So there you have it. Bye-bye.